A baby just locked eyes with you from across the room, and something happens that you did not agree to. Your face softens. Your voice, if you say anything at all, climbs about an octave and goes a little stupid. Some part of you wants to protect this tiny stranger you have known for 4 seconds. You didn't decide any of that. It was decided for you, a long time ago. And once you see how, you're going to feel slightly used. Here's the thing nobody tells you about a baby's stare. It is not really the baby doing something. It's a switch, and it's wired to you. To all of us. And it fires whether or not the baby is yours. Start with the obvious explanation. Babies stare because their eyesight is weak and your face is the most interesting blob nearby. Fine, except it falls apart fast. By a few months old, a baby can look at anything in the room. The window, the dog, the ceiling fan, and they still pick your face, every time. That is not bad vision. That is a preference. The real question is why they aim it at you, and why you can't seem to look away either. Because when a baby locks eyes with you, something you can actually measure happens in both skulls at once. Researchers at Cambridge put sensors on babies and adults and watched their brains during eye contact. When the adult looked away, nothing. When they held the gaze, the two brains started to fall into rhythm. The same wave patterns, firing across two separate people, lining up. Read that again. The baby is not just looking at you. Their brain is using yours as a template, borrowing your rhythm to build its own. And to do that, it first has to reach in, grab your attention, and hold it. That soft, locked-in feeling you get, that is the grab working. But the stare is only half the trick. The other half is the face itself, and this half has been used against you your whole life. In the 1940s, a scientist named Konrad Lorenz noticed that one set of features shows up in the young of almost every species: a big round head, a tiny nose and mouth, and huge eyes, far too big for the face. He argued this combination isn't cute by accident. It's a key, cut to fit a lock in the adult brain, and turning it releases exactly one response. Take care of this thing. Here's the tell. It works on things that aren't even babies: puppies, kittens, and cartoon characters, on purpose. Look at Mickey Mouse across the decades. Artists slowly shrank his snout and grew his eyes until he looked less like a rodent and more like an infant. Nobody announced it. Sales just went up when he looked more like a baby. You have been quietly farmed by animators pulling a lever that was installed in you before your species could speak. And it doesn't stop at feelings. It reaches into what your hands actually do. In one experiment, people looked at pictures of baby animals and then did a fiddly task that needed a steady, careful hand. The ones who had just seen the cute images did measurably better. Slower, gentler, more focused. A photo of a puppy quietly turned them into more careful people for the next few minutes. That is how deep the switch runs. It doesn't just tug your heart. It retunes your whole body to handle something small and breakable. Now the part that should bother you. You can't turn this off, and it does not check whose baby it is. A stranger's baby in a supermarket queue gets the same melt. People who swear they hate kids still soften when one grabs their eyes and refuses to let go. That looks like a glitch. It isn't. For almost all of human history, you lived in a small group where every baby nearby was basically your problem too. A helpless infant that only its own mother felt anything for was one bad day away from dying. The ones that made it were the ones whose faces reached into every adult in range and flipped the switch. Mother, aunt, stranger passing through, it didn't matter. So evolution never bothered building an off switch, or an "is this one mine" filter. It wired the receiver into all of us and left it running. So that gooey, disarmed feeling, the one that makes you feel a bit soft or silly, isn't weakness. And it isn't really about that particular baby. It is the oldest deal your species ever made. The most helpless creature alive, one that cannot feed itself, cannot move, cannot say a single word, still gets a full-grown adult to drop everything and guard it, not by being strong, by borrowing your eyes for 2 seconds and turning a switch you never knew you had. The baby isn't staring at you. The baby is driving. You're not broken. You're just running old code.